Welcome! I'm so happy that you are here. My name is Kelly Dunlap. As you know, if you don't, I am a wellness, beauty, lifestyle, fat loss coach. And I am so excited to share some amazing information with you. So if you happen to have to catch the rebroadcast, awesome. I hope you get some wonderful value out of this. So what I wanted to talk to you today about was coffee. All right, I know. Everybody in the whole world loves coffee. They're addicted to it, which is fine. And I'm not saying that coffee is bad, but I want to make you aware of something. Now, one thing about each of us is that we each have our own fingerprint when it comes to your metabolic system, okay? So what affects me in a certain way might affect you differently. What affects your friend Sally Sue in one way might affect you differently. So just like, for example, if Sally Sue lost 20 pounds and she did a certain diet or followed certain foods or whatever it is that she did, doesn't always mean that's going to affect you in a certain way. Why? Because you each have your own metabolic fingerprint. So what works for one may not work for another. And how something affects one may affect somebody else completely different. So I was thinking today about coffee and something that I recently learned, and I was just mind blown. But then I was like, there was a light bulb that went off, and I thought, oh my gosh, that makes complete sense. So I used to drink a lot of coffee, a lot. And then I realized that it wasn't really doing well for me. It was affecting my adrenal glands. It was affecting just everything. Even some of you, maybe females, may be able to relate to this. But I started feeling my breasts hurting. So I realized, okay, I went from drinking, what are they called? Americanos. Like 2 or 3 Americanos from Starbucks, which is like 4 shots of espresso a day. I had to wean myself down because, as I had mentioned yesterday, if you did not see this in my email or if you did not see this in this group earlier about habits, that habits they don't go away. They are in your brain. They are embedded like a loop on a cassette tape. So it's still there, but you have to create a new habit, and then you have a choice. So it becomes a choice at that point. So if you didn't see my post yesterday about habits, make sure that you tap into that. So here's the deal. What I had to do was I had to create a new habit. So the new habit was being aware, first of all, of what it was doing to me, that it was affecting me negatively. Yes, maybe it did help my workouts, and you can use coffee as a protocol in your workouts, but you also have to make sure, that you're not just drinking it mindlessly. So I then had to go from drinking an Americano size, and I had to wean it down. Then I eventually got to the point where I went from espresso to coffee. And then I went from, certain sizes of that to certain, it's a process, just like with anything in life, just like it's with weight loss, with anything. So all of that said, I got into habits, and I want to talk about coffee and how it affects your appetite. But that's okay, because they kind of tie in together, right? Because as I had talked about, habits, there's always a trigger, and you have to figure out what your trigger is for that too. So for me, getting in the car at a certain time of day to take my son to school, I would want to go to Tim Hortons. There was like that trigger. Or maybe a trigger isn't necessarily a thing or whatever. It could be a time of day. It could be a person. It could be a smell. It could be a food. So, just keep that in mind. So let's get to the point here. Coffee, okay? Now, the caffeine in the coffee, some people it might affect the way that it affects me, and some people it might be the complete opposite. Now, how does coffee affect me? Coffee stimulates a hunger hormone, a hunger-inducing hormone called ghrelin in your stomach. When I drink coffee, now because I haven't drank it in so long, to be honest with you, I forgot to share with you that I'm pretty much like I don't really even drink it anymore. And I got myself off of it even before I got pregnant, which was a blessing because that would be really hard to be coming off of coffee while you're pregnant, right? So every once in a while I have a little bit of it. And for example, today I wanted to do a test to see what happens. Does it affect me in that way still? So when I had the little bit of coffee, and I'm talking like a couple of straw sips, my stomach started to growl, okay? Because what happened, what I just explained, ghrelin was produced. So it made me hungry. Now, some of you might say, gosh, it suppresses my appetite, and that might be the case. Okay, it very well might be the case, but the way that my body processes things, my metabolic makeup, the way that I metabolize things, and just the way that my hormones respond, I have ghrelin in an abundance. Therefore, I wanted to eat a horse. And I was in the car and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving right now. Now, mind you, I'm pregnant, sure, but I am aware of the difference. Like, this is a different hunger. Now, what ghrelin does also, and think about the GR in ghrelin, it makes your stomach growl. That grr, that the noises, you can literally hear it. Okay, so keep that in mind. So I just wanted to share that quick tip with you. If you are somebody that drinks coffee, pay attention to see if you get the growling after. You very well might be making yourself fat just because you're eating calories that you probably may not necessarily eat if you did not have that coffee. Right? I say this. If I didn't have that coffee, I probably wouldn't have gotten hungry. And I came home and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And if I hadn't had that coffee, I probably wouldn't have had what I had to eat right away. So that could have been, that could be 200 or 300 calories extra that's going in your diet. Okay. So the message that I wanted to share with you today is just be mindful, pay attention if you're a coffee drinker to what exactly it's doing. Is it really benefiting you? That's the other thing. Coffee could be something that is like that small loophole that just needs to go away in order for you to get up level and get to that next level that you want to get to. You have to be in tune with your own metabolic way, and it takes time. It's a process. You have to be a detective. Sometimes you need a coach, and that's what I am here for. And that said, I'm going to be announcing, just like I have been kind of, planting seeds and little crumbs and nuggets, but we're going to be talking a little bit more about how you can have an opportunity to take advantage of a highly discounted program that I am putting together. And I'm very excited because I know it's going to help so many of you, because this is not just about, oh, here, take this, eat this, do this, exercise that way. This is very individualized, one-on-one, personalized coaching, okay? And it's going to be amazing and life-changing, and I just cannot wait to share. So, I have to go. Have a wonderful day. I hope you found this very informative, and please let me know when you drink your coffee. Listen to your body. Listen for the stomach. Let me know if you are somebody that ends up getting the growl. You could be just like me. You get the grr from the ghrelin. Okay, ghrelin, once again. And I don't like to get too scientific with you guys because, let's face it, a lot of people aren't like me. They don't want to know all the stuff. They don't want to know it. It's too overwhelming. It's like, I don't get it. But I like to share little pieces of it here and there just because I find it very interesting and I love to teach. So have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing back from you. We'll see you soon. Bye.